Hey, what's up good people? Welcome to another episode of Pwned, and in this video we are gonna be talking about the Dreadnaught 3D printed Longshot body kit by Maliang 3D, and in my opinion it is a pretty darn awesome body kit. Please excuse the purple shotgun pump grip though. I know it looks out of place from the whole entire Longshot setup, but there's a reason why I did that, okay? There's a reason why I did that. You could see that it is originally from the Everywhere Longshot right there, because that's missing the shotgun pump grip because this is the one. So first of all, shoutouts to Maliang 3D for sending this over to me. Yep, Maliang 3D sent this directly to me. They wanted me to take a look at it, give it a review, and tell them some feedbacks if I have any. And I decided to take it a step further and also do an installation video of this, which I will be showing you guys very soon. But all in all, I will say that it is a very well done kit. It is super robust, and the print quality, if you guys are worried, is actually pretty solid. It is on par with F10 555's printed stuff. Yes, it is pretty darn solid. However, I do have some feedback about the finishing of the product, but I will leave that towards the end of the video. So now as we move on to the installation segment, I want to first tell you guys that this is really easy to install. Like, it's a no-brainer. No cuts on the shell needed at all. In fact, it works even with the original bipods on the Longshot. So that means that you could have a completely stock Longshot, and the only thing that you have to take out is the original stock attachment. And then this kit will just fit on perfectly. And the best way to illustrate what I'm trying to say is to share with you guys the installation segment. So here we go. Welcome back. See, the installation was really simple, wasn't it? It's like all you gotta do is just start from the front and work your way to the back, and it's that simple. So the reason why I have this purple colored shotgun pump grip is to show you guys that it works with a shotgun pump grip. Now this one over here is by Gavin Fuzzy, but it will also work with other pump grips as long as it's not covered up here. Because you could see that the muzzle attachment piece is sitting completely flush with the Longshot shell right here, and same goes for the front here. It's of the same dimensions and the same cutout, so as long as your shotgun pump grip has a slot or does not protrude out too far, it's gonna work. It definitely will work. For those of you who are thinking of using this kit on, say for example, front gun integrated Longshots, then you gotta make sure that the front gun is sitting flush with the Longshot barrel here. If it's something that protrudes out here, then it's not gonna work because of this piece over here, unless you cut off this part of the 3D printed piece, you know? But yeah, it works perfectly fine with shotgun pumps, see? No issues at all. Now let's talk about what I think about the kit itself. This is called the Dreadnaught because it has this name here, the Dreadnaught, and it also has Dreadnaught here on the stock attachment. But there is one very strange marking here, and it's called the Bravery. I don't know what that exactly means and why it's there, but I was told that this is called the Dreadnaught. Now, like I said before, installation is really simple, so that's a huge pro. It also comes with all the tools that you actually need. That is also a huge pro. But one of the cons about the kit is that certain parts are a little bit too tight, especially this part for me. I found myself hammering it in just so I could get it to fit. And then that would lead to the next issue, which is if you ever want to remove the kit, this part being so tight and so snug, it's gonna be quite difficult for you to remove it without running the risk of possibly breaking any of the 3D printed parts. So this part I guess could be made a little bit wider. Since there already is a set screw or grub screw up here to kind of hold everything down in place, you don't need this actual piece to be so tight. I mean, it could be due to different tolerances from different models and generations of Longshot shells. I don't know, but at least on this one it was quite tough. This part and the stock were the easiest parts to get on and install. It was really simple. Also, the screw slots are actually tapped pretty well. I don't know if it's tapped or if it's just printed at a certain width that works really well with the screws that are provided. It's not one of those kind of kits where you have to kind of screw in a screw first into a slot and then remove it so that it'll be easier when you actually do the installation. This one just smooth. Next, I gotta give props for the detailing done to this particular body kit. Now, just this segment alone has so much detail. On the front of the muzzle area, on the sides, even on the top, that iron sight area, there's so much detail in this thing, it's amazing. Coming all the way down here, you still have details up here. You got small minor details here as well. Going all the way back, you got all these details right here. So it's a very well done kit. Like, look at the back, look at the stock and everything. It's really well designed and it looks super awesome. I love the aesthetics of it. It sits really well with the Longshot. Yes, it does add some heft and it is quite chunky, but it does make the carrying handle area a lot wider, so it feels a lot more robust in hand. And of course, these Picatinny rails are actually spec'd correctly, so you can attach any kind of attachments here as long as they are spec'd out for Picatinny rails. They will work. I tried it out, but I decided that this way looks much better for this particular kit. Now, the last thing I want to mention about the details is that I really like the fact that all these parts here join up and link almost seamlessly. It's like almost perfect, although you can definitely see the printed lines here. But the way it's made, look at this. The tolerances there, really good. The tolerances here, really good. I was really afraid when I was performing the installation for this part over here, the third piece in the kit, that as I approached the front part of the rail, that because of the friction here, I was hammering this piece in. I was afraid that I would damage this part, but no, it just slipped in perfectly and I was like, wait, the alignment on this is just crazy. So like, kudos to Maliang 3D for this. This is like really well done. And I mean, look, ever since pictures of this came up and popped up on the Facebook groups, I know everyone was like, wow, this is amazing. And I know that there were also some people asking if the stock would work separately. I would say that yes and no. Yes, because it interfaces here very well and you also have the correct grub screws to hold it in place. But no for this part because you're gonna have a wide gaping hole, so that would look a little bit strange. You know, you'd have the Longshot handle here, it'll go back down here, so it'll be blue like that, and then suddenly like you'll see these orange pieces sticking out, so that would be a little bit strange. But this part though, if you want to use just this and if you're okay with that gaping hole here, this would work. It would work for sure. But would it be as robust as now? I would say no, because all of these pieces here are interlinked so nicely that they actually share the load from the front all the way to the back of the blaster shell itself. On to the next part, which is comfort. I know, right? I rarely talk about comfort when it comes to body kits, but I'm gonna do it anyway. It is actually pretty comfortable. Like, this length here for the stock is really comfortable for me. I really enjoy it. Definitely more comfortable than the stock. Nailed it. I do admit that it is not the most comfortable stock for the Longshot, but it does offer good enough of a clearance here. It doesn't pull the Longshot too far away for me, at least, but you know, I'm not the tallest person around. I think people like Bobo Lolo might find this a little bit too small, but you know, it's really subjective, right? It's really subjective. It really also depends on personal preference on how far you like to hold your blasters away, you know? So for me, this is great because I like to keep my elbow tucked into the side and I kind of like this compact kind of feel. I feel like everything is just tightened up against my own body, and that's just a personal preference, so it really depends on what you like personally. Now, one of the cons that I have to say is that I don't really like the finishing done on this. Like this part here, right here, this part here is actually pretty sharp. I think that's because this is where the 3D printer bed was, and then they just pulled it off without doing much finishing, and then this, I guess this overflow like that is really sharp, especially here because of the details like that. All these are actually pretty darn sharp. Same goes for this part over here as well. Certain parts here can be a little bit sharp, I guess, and maybe uncomfortable if you accidentally hold on to this or graze on it by accident when you're trying to grab your pump grip if you're not paying attention. So that could cause some, I guess, some hurt. But for me, the most uncomfortable part is this part over here, the back plate of the stock. I mean, this is honestly quite sharp, and it is a little bit unfortunate because I expected this finishing to be done a little bit better. It's a quick fix, I could just sand it down and round it off, but you know, I just really wanted to point it out. Also, some parts of the kit does have some flash or like I guess you could call it like whiskers, like here. And I think for all of you eagle-eyed viewers would have seen that I had some flesh sticking out here in the earlier part of the video. I'm not sure if you spotted that. Well, you could just rewind it and try and spot it. I don't know if you can because I haven't seen the footage yet. Yeah, you know what I mean? And here as well, it's kind of fuzzy, I guess. Quite a lot of flash, I would say. It's the typical woes of 3D printed parts. So all in all, I think it's a pretty awesome kit. It looks really good and the installation is really simple. So good job to Maliang 3D. The Dreadnaught is something that looks really awesome, and if you are not someone who's looking to get the flush kind of finish, like on that, if you don't want to install a flat or fast rail on top and you want a body kit that sits on your Longshot and just improves the look, yes, I think that this is an improvement over the stock Longshot shell, but this is just cool. I mean, it does add a bit of bulk here and a little bit more here, but overall I think it sits really well with the Longshot shell. Now of course you could choose a different pump grip color, you know what I mean, but I just did this for the purpose of this video. And this kit, to my knowledge, right now is available in orange, black and grey. In my opinion, grey looks the best. Okay, I'm not trying to be biased or anything, but I think grey looks the best. It is this shade of grey, if I'm not wrong. Now the shade of orange used for the printed parts is a little bit darker, a little bit deeper compared to the Nerf orange on this Elite Blue Longshot shell. And I'm not sure how well this is going to translate on camera, but you could see the orange here from the gem door versus the orange here on the rail itself. So hopefully you guys can see the difference, because in real life the difference is pretty obvious, but when I took pictures of it, it looked like it was totally unnoticeable. So yeah, everyone, if you're looking for I guess a drop-in body kit for your Longshot shell without having to do any modifications to the shell itself, really consider this Dreadnaught body kit by Maliang 3D. It is an awesome kit. I cannot deny how cool it looks, and I'm very thankful to Maliang once again for sending this to me. Now you know my feedback. And that is it for this video, everyone. Thank you so much for sticking all the way throughout, and I hope that you enjoyed this. This couldn't have been possible without all of your support. Like in my previous video, you guys showed me so much love even though I was gone for such a long time. It's amazing. You know, with you guys saying things like Psych is back for a video, it's like a great Christmas present. I mean, I'm really touched. You guys have no idea. Like, yeah, it's just so difficult for me to find time to sit down and just do a video, you know, like it was really heartwarming and it was quite overwhelming for me, and it made everything just so worthwhile. So for all of you who have been sticking around, just whenever I upload a video and you guys just happen to see it on your subscription box and you come back and say hi, I really appreciate it. You guys have no idea. So thank you from the bottom of my heart. Like, thank you. And this would not have been possible without any of you sticking around. You know, like this channel has grown, but without you guys, it's nothing. You know what I mean? So yeah, and I don't know what my next video is going to be about, but I am still doing some modifications here and there during the pockets of free time that I have, especially after I knock off from work at night. But I guess stay tuned. I don't know how long in the future that would be, but I guess right now I feel like I know you guys are going to be there. So thank you for that as well. Thank you for that confidence you've put in my heart. Like I just love you guys. You know, I just love you guys. Thank you. And that's it. We've come to the end of this episode. Thank you so much once again, and I hope that you enjoyed it. I know I said that just now. Maybe I shouldn't repeat myself again. Yeah, I will put a link in the description box down below in case you guys are interested in getting one of these for yourself. I think it's really cool and it's an awesome piece to get if you have a spare Longshot, or if you want this cool looking thing, just get it. It's not too expensive. I think it's about like 50 to 70 US dollars. That was the price when I last checked on Taobao. Of course, you could procure it from some other resellers. I'm not sure who is reselling it, but if you can find it at a reseller for a cheaper price, then by all means go ahead, because at the end of the day, it's all about Maliang 3D's parts, right? Yep. So that's it. Drills pay the bills and teamwork makes the dream work. Peace.